welcome to the very first episode of Term 4 Cooking the Books. Before we get started, I would like to acknowledge the country that I'm filming on today, the country of the Wurundjeri Wurrung people of the Kulin Nation, and say thank you to their elders past, present, and emerging. Okay, so today's first episode, we're going to be cooking pesto. Pesto is something that I learned to make when I was about 10, and it's a really versatile sauce. It can go on pasta, potatoes, or maybe a salad sandwich. It's made up of mainly basil and garlic, and today I'm going to show you how to make it. Okay, so you're going to need a few things. First up, we're going to need basil. This is the main bit of our sauce. So these are some beautiful fresh basil we've got here, and we're going to use the leaves and cut off some of the stems. You're also going to need some olive oil. Olive oil is the best one to use, and it's raw, and olive oil when it's raw is actually really healthy. We're also going to get some pine nuts. We're going to use about half of these today, which is equivalent of 40 grams. And we're going to toast them up in a little bit to really bring out some of those flavors and the oils that are naturally in the nuts. Also very healthy. We're going to use 2 cloves of raw garlic. Now because it's raw, it's a really strong flavor, so you probably don't want much more than this because it can be quite overpowering. So 2 decent sized bulbs is really good. Alright, so once you've got all your ingredients together, you're also going to need a nice big bowl to put all your things in before we put them in the blender. So we're going to start off with our basil. Now this is a really good recipe because you don't actually need any knives at all, so it's pretty safe. So what you want to do is grab the bushel with your hands, and we're just going to cut off these big stems. The little stems at the top are fine, they're going to blend down. So just going to cut them like that, and then pop them in the bowl. We're also going to get our 2 cloves of raw garlic, and pop those in as well. Peeling garlic can actually be a bit tricky, it can be a bit fiddly, messy, because the skin sticks. So I'm going to show you a little trick that I know. What you do is you get 2 bulbs of garlic and a spoon, give it a bit of a crush, and then soak it in some hot water for about 10 minutes. And once that water cools down, what you can do is you can actually just slide the skin off, almost like peeling a piece of fruit. This way you get all the garlic and you don't have to use any knives at all. And it's much faster than trying to cut lots of garlic. So that's a little trick you can do if you don't want to fiddle around with a knife in your garlic. Yeah, 10 minutes in hot water. Alright, so we've got our garlic in here, we've got our basil, our olive oil we're going to add later. And now we're going to go to our stove with our saucepan, or pan, sorry, and toast up half of these nuts. So again, 40 grams. Alright, let's go. Righty, so now we've got our pine nuts. Again, we're going to use half, 40 grams. And we've got our pan. If you haven't lit in the stove at home before, make sure you grab an adult to help you. So I'm just going to light the stove, my pan. I'm going to keep it on a medium heat because nuts are really easy to burn and we don't want to because they're precious. If you've seen some of the other videos, we're also going to keep the handle to the side. And this way, we're not going to be able to hit it and knock anything off. That's a good safety tip. Always have your handle to the side so you can still control the pan, but you're not going to knock it off. And then I'm just going to guess. I'm going to add half the nuts. There we go. It's going to take a little while for them to toast up. And you don't put any oil in because these nuts are actually going to naturally start exuding their own natural oils, which is what they'll brown up in. And this will just take a couple of minutes. Once it gets going, it's very quick. So you definitely don't leave these on the stove. You want to watch them at all times. Alright, if you look here, you can start to see that some of the nuts are getting a bit brown on the edge, and once this starts to happen, they're all going to heat up pretty quickly, so definitely don't leave them by themselves. See how now they're, even more of them are toasting up, and these are actually almost done. We don't want to leave these too long because they will burn. Alright, once they're starting to get brown like this, we're actually just going to turn it off. Now these nuts are going to be super, super hot, so even though it's tempting to taste one because they smell good, I wouldn't. So we'll grab a bowl and we'll leave them to cool. Alright, let's go back and check out what we're going to do with our other ingredients. Alright, now that we have our basil and our garlic and our pine nuts, we're ready to blend. Something that I forgot at the beginning was cheese. I just forgot to buy cheese. But if you'd like to put some Parmesan cheese in this, it's going to taste really good. So at the moment, it's actually all vegan, but if you're not vegan, you could add some Parmesan cheese in, and you do this at the same point that we add the nuts. So just a little disclaimer there. Alright, so we've got our blender ready here. I've already plugged it in, I've made sure the light's on, which means it's good to go. And what we're going to do now is we're going to add all of these beautiful leaves and those 2 whole cloves of garlic. Now we're going to add our 40 grams of those beautiful nuts. They've cooled down now. Maybe wait until they're not too hot. If you've got Parmesan now as well, this would be the time to add probably about 2 tablespoons would be just right. And then what we're going to do, we're going to boil this oil in really slowly. So we want to keep the top bit open. Now, it might be a bit loud, so I'll tell you what we're going to do beforehand. As we blend on a really low setting, the lowest that you can get your blender to, because we can always fasten it as we go, but you can't unfasten it. We're going to slowly trickle the oil in as it slowly absorbs. All right, let's go. Alright, sorry about the noise, but now let's see what our pesto sauce is looking like. Oh, wow. It smells amazing. So you can see in here, it's a beautiful green color. The nuts and the garlic and the oil and the basil have all blended together, and the Parmesan if you pop that in. And now this is ready to pop in. I'm actually going to use this exact same jar that I had the oil in. And I forgot a spoon, but what you will do at home is you'll just pop it into the jar, chuck a label on it, and put it in the fridge. And now you've got pesto sauce for whenever you want pasta, pesto potatoes, or a little extra to your salad sandwich. Thank you so much for joining me for this first episode. In 2 weeks' time, we're going to have a Halloween special in which we're going to make pumpkin soup, so be sure to join us for that. If you're missing Lego Club, you can also check out all the videos from last term that will be on our Vimeo page. Alright, see you next time. Bye.